Good morning and a very warm welcome. This is the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne, and as always, we're coming to you live from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. Well, this morning too, we're ready to bring to you details of all the top stories from here at home and around the world. Do stay tuned with us for the news in detail. Let's start off with news here at home as always. Police have issued a warning that if parliamentarian Rohita Begunawardana's daughter fails to surrender in the coming days, legal steps will be taken to obtain a court order to freeze her assets. According to police sources, several locations suspected to be hideouts of the woman and her husband have been checked, but the couple still remains at large. They are wanted in connection with an ongoing investigation into the illegal importation and assembly of a luxury jeep. Now, authorities have confirmed that both these individuals are to be taken into custody as part of the broader probe. Meanwhile, the son of MP Jagat Vithana, who was arrested in relation to the same case, is currently in remand custody. Now, meanwhile, Minister of Transport, Civil Aviation and Highways Bimal Ratnayaka announced that a series of measures will be introduced in the near future to reduce incidents of harassment faced by women on public transportation. He made these remarks while participating in the launch of the national campaign to prevent sexual harassment in public transport and public spaces held yesterday in Colombo. The minister emphasized that transport-related harassment is a serious issue that causes many women to miss out on opportunities and refrain from participating in essential activities due to fear and discomfort. He noted that for many, even attending an event that ends late at night is impossible because of the risks associated with traveling back home that late. Minister Ratnayaka further stated that the responsibility lies with the ministry to take proactive steps to address this pressing issue. He stressed that harassment doesn't occur solely due to traffic congestion, but is often facilitated by overcrowding, which allows perpetrators to act under the cover of anonymity. The minister added that a major concern is the lack of social solidarity. He observed that in many cases, no one intervenes when harassment takes place on a bus or train or even at a bus stop. Now, this silence is partly due to the structure of the bus industry, where even conductors or drivers may threaten passengers who speak out in defense of the victims. He emphasized that the need to regulate the public transport sector more effectively, adding that fear of retaliation prevents many from resisting harassment or supporting those who do. To address these concerns, the minister revealed several upcoming initiatives, including the implementation of GPS tracking systems on all long-distance buses. Now, additionally, a dedicated WhatsApp number will also be soon available on every bus in Sri Lanka, allowing passengers to report incidents directly and discreetly. The Minister of Transport, Civil Aviation and Highways also noted that these steps are part of a broader effort by the ministry to create a safer and more accountable public transport system. With that, let's move on to our weather forecast for this morning. Now, showers will occur at times in the western Sabaragamuwa and central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Several spells of showers may occur in the northwestern province as well. The Met Department says that strong winds of about 55 to 60 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the Central Hills and in the northern, north-central, northwestern and central provinces and in the Trincomalee and Hambantota districts. Fairly strong winds of about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected at times elsewhere as well. And as always, the general public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Well, on to more local news for this morning. The cremation of the late Most Venerable Anamadweshri Dhammadasi Anunayaka Thero, Anunayaka of the Asgiriya chapter of the Siam sect, will take place today at 2 p.m. at the Asgiriya Police Grounds in Kandy with state sponsorship. The Most Venerable Thero passed away on the morning of the 21st of July while receiving treatment at a private hospital in Kandy, marking the conclusion of a meritorious and exemplary monastic life spanning 67 years. The sacred remains of the late Anunayaka Thero were initially placed at the historic Gohagoda Liangasthana Purana Vihara on the 22nd of July for devotees to pay their final respects. And later that day, the remains were transferred to the most venerable Udugama Sri Buddha Rakita Memorial Hall of the Asgiri Mahavihara, where they continue to lie in state. The cremation will be held this evening at the Asgiri Police Grounds in Kandy with state sponsorship. Meanwhile, consultant attached to the National Cancer Control Program, Dr. Prasanna Jayasekara, says that there has been a significant increase in oral cancer cases over the past decade. Dr. Jayasekara noted that oral cancer has become the most common form of cancer, especially among men in Sri Lanka. Now, on average, around 3,300 new oral cancer cases are reported annually, which equates to 9 to 10 new diagnoses each day. He further highlighted that the number of deaths caused by oral cancer is also alarming, with at least 3 individuals losing their lives to the disease daily. Citing data from the National Cancer Registry, Dr. Jayasekara said that in 2013, 2,231 oral cancer cases were reported, while by 2021, this number has risen to 3,361, marking a significant upward trend. Now, among women, oral cancer ranks as the 8th most common type of cancer, accounting for approximately 3% of female cancer patients. The consultant stressed the urgent need for the greater public awareness, early detection and prevention strategies as oral cancer continues to claim lives at a steady and concerning rate. Well, coming up next is international news for this morning. Shifting your attention to the Middle East this morning, more than 100 international aid organizations and human rights groups are warning of mass starvation in Gaza and pressing for governments to take action. Now, Doctors Without Borders, Save the Children and Oxfam are among the signatories of a joint statement that says their colleagues and the people they serve are wasting away. Now, Israel, which controls the entry of all supplies into the territory, rejected the organization's statement and accused them of quote-unquote serving the propaganda of Hamas. The warning came as Gaza Hamas-run health ministry said another 10 Palestinians had died as a result of malnutrition in the last 24 hours alone. That brings the number of such deaths across Gaza since Sunday to 43, according to the ministry. The United Nations has reported that hospitals have admitted people in a state of severe exhaustion caused by a lack of food and that others are collapsing in the streets. Israel imposed a total blockade of aid deliveries to Gaza at the start of March and has resumed its military offensive against Hamas 2 weeks later, collapsing a 2-month ceasefire as well. It said it wanted to put pressure on the armed group to release the remaining Israeli hostages. Although the blockade was partially eased after almost 2 months, amid warnings of a looming famine from global experts, the shortages of food, medicine and fuel have worsened. The World Health Organization, or WHO, has said its assessments show that a quarter of the population is facing famine-like conditions and that almost 100,000 women and children are suffering from severe acute malnutrition and need treatment as soon as possible. Let's move on to another international news item this morning. Now, Australia has said it will lift restrictions on the import of beef from the United States, a trade barrier which has angered the Trump administration. American beef has effectively been banned from the country, which some of the strictest biosecurity laws in the world since 2003 after an outbreak of the disease which is commonly known as the mad cow disease. The White House cited the restrictions when explaining tariffs imposed on Australia in April as part of US President Donald Trump's so-called Liberation Day scheme. The Australian government has denied the timing of the decision was related to the trade tiff, saying A decade-long department review found the US has improved beef safety measures. Canberra technically lifted the ban on US beef in 2019, but cattle from Mexico and Canada remained on the blacklist, and the integration of their supply chains meant this essentially barred beef from the states as well. Coming up next is your sports news for this morning. And in sports, it's cricket. The fourth test match of the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy between India and hosts England enters its second day today at Old Trafford in Manchester. At stumps on day one, India had scored 264 runs for the loss of 4 wickets in their first innings. After winning the toss, England elected to bowl first on a pitch expected to offer assistance to seamers early on. India's opening pair, Yashasvi Jaiswal and Lokesh Rahul, provided a solid start, putting on a 94-run partnership for their first wicket. Rahul scored a steady 46 runs, while Jaiswal contributed a fluent 58. Captain Shubman Gill, who followed next, was dismissed after scoring just 12 runs. Sai Sudarshan continued the momentum with an impressive 61. For England, Ben Stokes was the standout among the bowlers, claiming 2 wickets for 47 runs. The match remains finely poised as play resumed on day 2, with India looking to build a strong first innings total and England aiming for early breakthroughs.
And he goes again.
And that's a wrap of this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. Thank you for joining us today. Do make sure to join us tomorrow as well, same time, same place, for more of the very latest from here at home and around the world. Take care. Have a wonderful day ahead.